Oh, technology. Here we go. So good evening, everybody, and welcome to this second presentation of the Tools to Transform. This is a series of 8 tools that will give you the possibility to manage any kind of change process. So these are tools for whether you're managing a change in your physical health, maybe something is going on with mental health, maybe life is just kind of throwing stuff at you and you're not sure what to do. And so I've been teaching 2 of the tools from a series that I've been developing over the last few years, which are designed to help us through the change process. So just to say I'm recording, so this is in the shot. If you don't want to be in that, then you're welcome to, but just to be aware. So last week we looked at tool number 1, which was care for the vehicle. So this was really a strong invitation to intentionally make a time and space in the day where you're looking after the body. And this is just vital for any reason, I think, to help us take care of ourselves and learn more about the body and learn what we can do for ourselves with some very simple practices: massage, stretching, maybe having a nice bath or a shower, a walk in nature. We talked about getting into the green, different ways that we can soothe our mind and body in order to take care of ourselves. And this is particularly important if we are in a moment of challenge, particularly with mental challenge. So today we're going to go to the next tool, which is mindful movement. And this is something that I'm really passionate about. Moving mindfully, being in the body, exercise has been a key part of how I've learned to manage my mind, manage my emotions. It's an ongoing journey, but sharing mindful movement is something that I'm really, really passionate about. And so this is a particular type of movement where we very deliberately choose to pay attention on purpose, moment by moment, to the movement of the body. And when we do this, there's 2 things that are happening. One is we're getting the benefits of, let's say, for example, a shoulder roll. We're getting the physical benefits of just moving the body, doing a little bit of stretching. This is what we talked about last week. Just move the body, let it feel nice. The second option is we move the body and we engage the brain. So we very deliberately choose to make the moving of the body the object to train our attention. And when you do this, you're doing like a pincer maneuver. You're training the body, you're moving, you're loosening, you're helping the body to feel nice, you're taking away some of the stresses and strains. At the same time, you're training your attention network, what we call top-down attention network training. So for me, because I like efficiency, it's 2 birds and 1 stone. Although I don't advocate throwing stones at birds, of course. We need to change that expression. But it's a type of multitasking that allows you to care for the body and for the mind at the same time. So let's try and do that right now. If you want, you can stand up. If you prefer to sit down, you can stay seated. It's up to you. And maybe you can just do a little bit of checking in with yourself now. What does my body prefer? Does my body want to sit? Does my body want to stand up? Tune in to what you need. This is not about what I tell you to do. This is about listening to your body, seeing what your body needs, what it likes, what it prefers. But let's just start by shaking a little bit, moving the arms, shaking, loosening in the wrists. I don't know if anybody's been texting or typing today. Let's get the wrists nice and loose. Let's wave to each other. Hi, everybody. Turn and face somebody that's near to you. Give them a little wave. Hi. Making eye contact, checking in if that feels comfortable with who's in the space with us this evening. Beautiful people. Lovely to see so many of you here. And then moving to have the feet roughly shoulder width apart. And if I could have the next slide, please. We're going to really use... go to the next one, that's fine. No, that's it, okay, go back. Go back one more, no cushion, that's it. So this is a type of meditation that doesn't require us to have a cushion. But what we can do is we can ground through our feet on the floor. So encourage you to take a moment to find your feet on the floor. And you might notice that the mind has to kind of travel down through the body. And you can wiggle the toes a little bit if that helps you to get a sense of where your feet are on the ground. If you feel comfortable to close your eyes, you can, but again, you experiment, you check it out, what works for you. And sometimes in Tai Chi, we imagine that there are roots coming out of the bottom of the feet and growing down into the ground. So this is an invitation to really connect to the earth, or grounding, or rooting. And this can be very helpful if you've got a busy head. You know, if the mind is racing or the thoughts are galloping off to all sorts of places, in the past, in the future. It's very simply saying, I see you mind, oh, hello, wow, what's going on up here? But actually, I want to prioritize feeling my feet on the floor. And I'm going to help myself really get into the feet by imagining some roots growing down into the ground. You might want to have a tiny bend in the knees, a little bit of softness in the knees. And then for the real Tai Chi posture, we do a slight tucking under of the pelvis. Just feel what's comfortable for you. And from here, let's begin a slow roll of the shoulders backwards. And the first one or two of these, we're just doing that vehicle check. We're just checking in to see what is the state of the neck and shoulders today. If I just begin to move them in a slow and gentle fashion, what can I discover if I listen to my body? And you might begin to investigate more closely the left and right. Are there any sensations that feel the same? Or is there a difference in the left and the right? Very deliberately now, telling your brain, I love all the amazing things that you can do, but I only need you to do one thing right now. And the one thing I'd like you to do is pay attention to this movement of my shoulders. The sensations of forwards, up, back and down. Or whatever is the type of movement you can make. So if you've got pain and you need to make it smaller, or you need to adapt, please be free to do so. And if at any point you notice that you're not on the shoulders anymore, that's okay. It's very normal in mind moments, but you've got a choice there. The choice is get back to shoulders, or carry on thinking about something else. And you've always got a choice. And if you're trying to train the brain, get the benefits of mindfulness, and instruction is release the chain of thought as quick as you can, as best you can, and come to the shoulders. It might help to break them down into forwards, up, back, and down. See if you can make those different movements forwards. Take a snapshot. Up. Take a snapshot. Up. Back. Take a transitioning from movement to stillness. Finding the feet again on the floor. Scanning through the whole body. Down from the forehead, all the way down through the chest and the tummy, down through the legs, finding the soles of the feet, contact with the body of the earth, the chair closer to the earth. Moving now to another basic movement that comes from Tai Chi. Arms up and down for this opening form. And I usually just do one or two to, again, check the vehicle. See what's the limits of my movement today, how does the body feel. And after I've done one or two, then I bring the mind into play. I say, brain, I love all the amazing things you can do. The thing I want you to do right now is be super interested in arms going up and down. And if I start thinking about my big toe, then I say, no, that is not arms going up and down. And then you come back to that feeling of lifting. Arms rising up, not too wide, and then pressing down. And you can play with the pacing, so let's do it a few times kind of fast, so almost like you're painting the air. That creates one kind of sensation, painting the air. Maybe you like this one. Or let's go to super slow-mo. And see what you can notice when you go slower. And you choose to pay attention. And then you slow things down. So there's this whole slow movement going on at the moment. Slow eating. Slow cooking. Slow traveling. And it's really the antidote to that speediness of our modern life. And we really invite you to rush a lot, especially in the city, especially with technology. So this is the slow-mo version where we choose to be super interested. What happens at that moment when my brain decides I've gone high enough and it's time to change? Surf inside that movement of transitioning between up and down, and then see the moment when my brain and mind decides that's enough fun. And we go to down. Sticking with that one if you like it, but if you wish now, let's try to do this one going big. Just check that you're not going to hit anybody next. Open your arms like that. Need to just shift it a little bit. Open and close. And press down. So this one going big. Tai Chi, we're using this one to open the heart rhythm. So you feel the shoulder blades squeeze together, stretching across the chest, reversing the movement, and pressing down. Arms up. Squeeze the shoulder blades to open the chest, feeling those sensations in the body, in the chest, moving, tree, and play a bit of a game with this. You can see if you can still keep the movements going while you have a little bit of mind wander about what you're going to make for the date. So let's just allow a bit of mind wandering, see what the difference is. So I'm still doing the movement, but I'm now thinking like, okay, so have I got any food in the fridge? What can I cook from the food that's in the fridge? Do I need to go to the supermarket? Or I don't want to go to the supermarket because I want to start buying Easter eggs that are all around by the counter. Okay, what am I going to get? How am I going to really let the mind wander, just go for it. Choosing to see what it's like when the mind wanders. Busy, 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 future planning monkey, going on, getting food, having food, making choices, getting on the phone, what you need to do. And then release from that and come back to sensing the body, arms, shoulders, hands. Really bringing the mind into the body as you move. And see how that's different. Explore. Is it different? Being like a scientist here, creating some experiments with the body and the mind. And then seeing what's true for us, what's true for me. How do I feel my body when I'm mind wandering? And what's different? And I do my best to pay attention. And two more things. Noticing any tendency to want to rush. Wherever possible, inviting softness in the body. Where can I release and relax? If you want to sit down and the body needs something, please be free to do so. Tool number one, self-care. Make yourself as comfortable as possible so you can learn the breath. Move to number three. Up and down through the room. I've got a video of this as well on YouTube, these 4 exercises that we're doing today. Up and down. So when you're just getting the hang of the movement, you might notice some of those comparison monkeys coming, judgment monkeys. Am I doing it right? Oh, gosh, you're doing it better than me. So give those monkeys a hug. Kisses, I love you. And we're about to just try and do it in our own way. It's a mindful movement. It doesn't have to be perfect. Tai Chi movement. It's a movement. And ideally going by paying attention. Sometimes even at this point I say, well, let's just really try and get this wrong actually. Let's just get rid of any idea of doing this right. So I'm just do this one like super wonky. Oh, is it like that? Does my hand go there? Maybe my hand goes here. I don't know where my hand goes. How is it just to move in the most not the right way possible for that exercise? Sometimes that feels freeing actually. Other times the mind is saying, oh no, I just want to go back to this simple up and down. So let's come back again and just be a bit playful with it. You don't need to be too serious. Anything that kind of looks like up and down is okay. It has a slight flowy, rhythmic feel to it. It may be that the breath synchronizes with the movement, but don't strain to make it so. If it feels okay, breathe in as the hands come up. Breathe out as the hands go down. But if you are going super slow mode, then just let the breath be as it needs to be. Getting a sense of strokes this beard. Lifting, opening, bending at the elbow. You don't need to go too high. Let's be super lazy, relaxed. You've got a long beard. Stroke the beard. Press the arms down. It's got a circling quality to it, this one. A nice movement here where the wrists turn. Wrists turn. Shoulders lift. Elbows bend. And stroke the beard. We'll try with the eyes closed if you feel steady on the feet. This can sometimes amplify the sensations of the body. Reducing interference from the visual stream of information. But if you feel dizzy or not comfortable, open them up. Let's do maybe 3 more of these. Lift and press. Sometimes for me when I'm doing this one, I'm kind of using a phrase like, I'm open, I'm here, receiving life, the world. And also I'm grounded. I'm here in my torso, in my hips, in my knees, in my feet. I'm open in the world, connected to others. This arm gesture of openness. But also, I know where my feet are. I know where I'm grounded. To finish and standing again. Maybe a little bit of shaking, but see what your body needs. So sometimes I pause and then I just see what it feels like. I've been moving and now I'm still. So I honor that transition, honor that decision to stop moving. And then I see what my body needs. So my knees are kind of saying, I need a bit of squeeze, or maybe rotate the waist. Maybe some massage of the back a little bit. Maybe the shoulders. Let's do that from tool number 1. What does the body need? Some light patting. Maybe some other shoulder rolls. Some shaking again. Just see what the body needs after that. And then coming to take a seat. So let's transition then into the seated position, and this is a type of mindful movement you can do, transitioning from lying down to sitting up, like in the morning, from sitting up to standing up, like when you get out of bed, and then from standing up, from stationary to moving, from moving to stationary. All of these are moments when you can informally practice mindfulness. And this is what I love about the moving body. It's your kind of mindfulness cushion that's with you all the time. Okay? You don't need any special equipment. You don't need any special clothing. You've got this thing that you can use as your training object all the time. If you could just click ahead, I think 2 slides, 1, 2. This is a reminder of the neurocognitive model that I work with. And you can see on the left-hand side that movement, the actual movement sensations of the body have been selected for the object of your attention. And I don't know how people got on with that when we did the shoulder rolls, or when we did the arms moving. The instruction was to just pay attention to that, just that. So was that easy or was that difficult? Or what did people experience of that? When you were just trying to pay attention to the shoulders, or just trying to pay attention to the feet on the floor. Was that easy? Difficult? Yeah. Very common, yeah, me too. Yeah, it's much easier to do these things when we're kind of supported in a group. Unless, we can be curious about that. But it's very common, and it's not just about mindfulness. It's about lots and lots of things. Yeah. How about others? Similar or different experiences? You found that easy? Yeah? Felt comfortable? Yeah, okay. What about, did anybody discover some aches and pains or some weird sort of surprises? Yes, I'm seeing some nods there. Yeah. Beautiful. So you did a self-care, yeah, and I really recommend this, When we're training in mindfulness, we are doing a training. We're learning and we're training, and sometimes we just don't feel like it. And sometimes we are tired, and actually the skillful thing there is to go back to tool number one, which is just be gentle. Yeah, it's not uncommon. We go into the body and we realize, oh my goodness, I'm actually really exhausted, and I'm really tired, I'm really aching, and what I need is a bath. What I need is to just sit down and stop pushing myself. Brilliant. Yes, somebody had a hand up there. So it felt good to stand up. If you're supposed to lie down, yeah. Yeah, good to stand up. And so what we've got in the left-hand side there where it says movement is you ask your brain to select an object to pay attention to. And then as we start moving, all the sensation goes kind of flooding into our brain, different kinds of sensations. For example, if I'm doing hip rotation, and then I'm doing this top-down thing, where I'm saying, and I want you to give extra attention to it. Then usually what happens after about half a second, if it's me, or like a fifth of a second, is my mind starts thinking about things. Sometimes I'm thinking about the movement, and I'm going, am I doing it right? Does it look funny? Are people looking at me? What's going on? No, I'm not doing it right, or and stuff like that. I have some perfectionist monkeys then. Or I just wander off. Just like I start doing it, I'm paying attention for a bit, and then my brain goes, oh, this is boring, I know what to do here. You don't need to pay attention to that tomorrow. I'm going to think about something else. So we played with that a little bit there, where I invited you to think about your shopping list. How do people get on with that thing? Still doing the movement, but actually inviting mind wandering. What did you notice? Yes. It felt more anxious. So when the mind got busy, there was a sense, where was that in the body? Or how did you know you were anxious? What sorts of things? The chest start, okay, so we often feel some tightening in the chest or some sweatiness, And you were thinking about eating fruit and vegetables? Yeah, okay, so you were thinking about it. So what happened to the movement sensation when you were thinking about what your GP said about fruit and vegetables? Yeah, so you're having thoughts about well-being, so that was great. Fantastic, yeah. Anybody else had any reflections on that?
When I was thinking,
Okay.
when thinking, it's good.
Oh, yes, interesting. Anybody else have that? So the comment was, when you went into the body, there was an awareness of some pain in the body. But when the mind got busy thinking, the thinking pulled the attention away from the body and there was less pain, there was less experience of pain. Yeah. And that might be a good thing, but I'm wondering it could have some costs to it, but certainly in the short term, distraction of any kind is really great to manage pain. Right, okay, so I sometimes call this the double-edged sword of awareness. Because we go into the body and we realize, like, oh my goodness, I'm tired. Oh my goodness, I've been on my feet all day, I haven't stopped. Oh my goodness, like, I've got anxiety, or I've got something that's not good in my body. And the important thing there is kind of not to panic. It's to notice and say, okay, something is asking for attention. I've got options to distract. We've always got the option to distract. But this also might be an opportunity to say, okay, I really care. I want to care. And if you're hurting, I want to listen. I'm interested. What do you need? What do you need, my tired body? What do you need, my feet that have been, standing on all day? So we have this option to kind of get lost in the space of the mind, and it might be helping us in the short term, but actually if we really want to know ourselves, the invitation is, okay, let me stay with difficult feelings, pain in the body, let me investigate it in a way so I can learn more. And so then, typically though, if we've decided to focus on the movement and the mind starts wandering, if we want to be training our brains, when we get to the moment of noticing this, oh, that's not my shoulder roll, oh, that's not my arms going up and down, that's something else. This is what some people call the moment of mindfulness. It's the moment when you realise your brain isn't doing the thing you asked it to do. Yeah, so we kind of get this little tap on the shoulder where our brain comes and says, Tamara, a few seconds ago you were telling me that you wanted to focus on the movement and the shoulders. Now I see that you're thinking about emails and what you need to do later. There's a bit of a conflict here. You know, a bit of a clash. Which one is more important to you, shoulders or emails? Yeah, so at that point I've got two things in my kind of mind.